And we have a really brief article today. We wanted to jump on, wanted to share this with you. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen here. Alrighty. So this is a NASDAQ article. We linked the article down below. It's a really brief article, but I thought it was very pertinent. A lot of people had previously been predicting this because of what's going on with Russia and the Ukraine being basically the breadbasket of Europe. Many people predicted that this would happen. So we have all this uncertainty with fuel pricing. We have OPEC slowing its production. And now we've actually seen in the market, in the commodities market, we've seen a rise in wheat, which is what was predicted. So this rise, I think, is just the beginning. But Hamburg, October 10th, Chicago wheat rose over 4% on Monday on concern a flare-up in the Russia-Ukraine conflict could create new threats to grain shipments from the Black Sea region. Corn rose on expectation of smaller crops in the U.S. and Europe. Soybean hopes for more Chinese demand underpin soybeans. Chicago Board of Trade most active wheat jumped 4.8 to 9.22 a bushel. Corn was up 1.5% at 6.94 a bushel, and soybean up 1.9% at 13.94 a bushel. Wheat is being pushed up by the intensified fighting between Russia and Ukraine and concerns about whether it will cause interruption in some way to seaborne grain exports from the Black Sea, especially whether Ukraine's safe shipment channel for grains export will continue, said Max Ammerman of StoneX Commodity Risk Manager. And I think this is an absolutely foregone conclusion. This will absolutely happen with all this turmoil and with stuff going on with the bridge and Crimea and all this stuff. There's definitely going to be a lot of uncertainty, and there's definitely going to be a lot of geopolitical international manipulation surrounding all this. Whether or not it's or something organic happens or something is forced to happen by black ops, stuff like that, Blackwater. Regardless of whether actual disruption of shipments likely or not, a risk premium being added to prices today as if Black Sea shipments are disrupted. Demand could be switched to other regions like the United States and EU. Russia struck Ukrainian cities on Monday in an apparent revenge after after President Vladimir Putin declared an explosion on the bridge to Crimea to be a terrorist attack. Corn is also seeing some support. Corn is also seeing some support from the Black Sea conflict concerns along with expectations of reduced harvest forecasting in the U.S. and Europe. Analysts expect the U.S. Department of Agriculture to cut its U.S. corn harvest forecast. Soybeans are seeing support from hopes Chinese buying will resume as the country returns to work after its holiday week. And with high hog prices in China, it's likely to help the demand. There is also still some bargain buying after recent soybean prices fall. Okay, so the main thing I wanted to point out here was that we are seeing an immediate rise in wheat prices, and this was predicted. So now we're seeing these predictions come true. There's been a lot of different, there's been predictions in gas prices rising. Now that's actually being manufactured, relatively speaking, now that the U.S. has negotiated with OPEC and, because of the petrodollar and different things like that. Now OPEC is saying that they're going to decrease their production. That decrease in production will increase the price per barrel, and the price of oil and the price of fuel drives everything up. So that'll just have another indirect pressure on these commodities. These grains are used in the production and manufacture of not just food, not just bread, but also, animal feed. It affects a large portion of everything that we do on a daily basis. So that's why it's so important. And that's why it has kind of like a dramatic impact on our food infrastructure So I just wanted to throw this out there. I wanted to throw this video up.
Yeah.
Another thing I just wanted to mention is, we put all these videos out there, and so we'll have video from Australia, we'll have a video from the UK, we'll have a video from Austria, and it's very concerning and very alarming because we'll get these weird, goofy, partisan comments, and people will say, this is what you deserve because you wanted all this progressive stuff. And I just want to point out the fact that nobody has voted for any of this stuff. Nobody has voted for a proxy war. Okay. Nobody has voted for higher gas prices. And I know people are going to say, oh yeah, but the liberals and the progressives, but the majority, just as in war, right? This new war model that we have in the 20th century is 90% civilian collateral damage. So it's the same thing with the info war. It's the same thing with the financial war. It's the same thing with political theater. It's the same thing with military theater, and they call it theater for a reason. But the collateral damage is always 90%, and it's always the civilian, and it's always the person that didn't want it to happen. And these banks and these district of criminals and these oligarchs in our country and these oligarchs in other countries and these oligarchs and technocrats that are in these forums and Bilderberg groups and all these things, they want to socially engineer, and they want to move the pawns around the board, and they want to stage this stuff. But they always want me and you and our children to go out there and sling lead at each other, right? And they want us to bleed while they profiteer off of finance and profiteer off of both sides. And they profit off of mass killing. Democide is the greatest killer of mankind. Democide. So that's what kills people, other than hunger shortages and the Gulag Archipelago and all these other different actions that have occurred over the course of time as history repeats itself. I think Mark Twain once said, history, this would make a good t-shirt. Maybe this will be a t-shirt, but he said that history may not repeat itself, but it definitely rhymes. So we're seeing some rhyming going on. We're seeing a lot of things that have happened before are happening again.
Sadly,
this is what makes these things predictable. These things are predicted off of people that read books and study history and study real history and know what's going on. And this is what's going on, y'all. We see grain prices rising. We're going to see these other grains impacted. We're going to see corn impacted. We're going to see soybeans impacted. Yeah. And the price is going to continue to move north. And this is without inflation. These are other external influences other than inflation. And it will get worse before it gets better. So we just wanted to throw it out there. Yeah. And do you have anything else, Matt, you want to say?
No, it's just like we say all the time on the channel. This is just another reason why everybody has to start growing their own food. I was actually listening to Lou later today, and it was funny. He was talking about why everybody should start growing, at least buying a plot of land and putting a garden on it. I was like, check him out, actually talking about this stuff.
Later, don't you know?
Yeah, I know. So, and y'all have heard it a million times, but maybe if you haven't, we just have to take back our power. And we pretty much gave away our power every day just for convenience,
Yeah.
And like we were watching a documentary last night, and slightly a little bit off topic, but kind of about the convenience thing. Back when you were a kid, you used to know like 30 or a lot of phone numbers.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, personally, I only remember 2 phone numbers, your phone number and mom's phone number. All the rest are saved in my phone, or the documentary was saying about Alexas and all these different places, or Google, and they all remind you and help you, and all for convenience, and they're all spying on you perpetually.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we forego freedom via convenience.
Yep.
And that's just the way it is. But we hope you all are liking the videos. We just purchased the Restream software, so it'll hopefully make our content a little more enjoyable, a little more interactive. We can share the screen and do lots of neat, fancy stuff, and we're getting used to it. We're getting into the swing of creating better content.
Yeah.
I was talking with Jaime from Rokfin today.
Okay.
And I just explained, that we're going to be going to Rokfin, but right now we're just getting our feet under us. I want to make sure that we have everything ready and we know what we're doing, so we don't look like bush league amateur. We want to create a high quality product, and get the information out there. And the better and nicer and higher quality our product is, the more people will be willing and want to share it. So please like, share, please subscribe, share this with your friends. We're going to be putting out these lives and should be putting out content every day.
Yeah, at least twice a day or once a day. So also go check out our t-shirts. That's a new t-shirt, actually, by the way. So that's over slightly different design, but it's pretty much that's it. It's pretty much the same exact design as that one there. So we got that up on the website. Also, all the honeys restocked. I packed up like 30 orders today, went to the post office to go drop them off, and they were like, oh, it's Columbus Day. I'm like, great. And it's World Mental Health Day today. And on top of that, Mom said it was Native American Day or something. I forget. So it's like 3 holidays all at once. So anyway.
It's kind of ironic with Columbus Day, but just saying. But Nelson said he got his honey.
Awesome.
Good to hear, Nelson.
Awesome.
And the drought is back here in Texas. I see it's affecting Arkansas as well, but it hasn't rained here for a good 20, 40, 45 days or so. But all right, y'all. Well, we're going to eat some
dinner,
grass-fed, homegrown, and some carrots and whatnot, but it's smelling good. It was made in the old Instapot.
Yeah.
So we're going to go eat some food. Pray y'all have a blessed day.
Yeah.
And
thanks for jumping on.
Thanks for watching.